status as a developing nation. A developing nation. We can't even rebuild a bridge. We can't even rename it, let alone build it. China's building the biggest bridges in the world.
It's funny how your positive units can fluctuate up and down by 10 points.
They're putting up
very
coal
quickly,
factories left and right,
but the negative points goes down.
They're considered
so
a developing nation. What the hell is that about?
Oh.
So the whole.
If it's hard to get the negative units down,
likely
it should be hard to get them up as well.
Lifetime.
I feel like that's just
today. The playing field has probably never been level. We've never experienced. Think about that.
Oh damn! I don't have a friendly fire thing anymore.
Have never experienced a level playing field. You've always been playing uphill. You've always been fighting uphill. You've always had the scales rigged against you. Imagine America competing on a level playing field.
They almost got it to 4-0.
Free.
Oh, another
fair
turnover.
trade.
Nice.
Well, we might not have to imagine. We might actually get to see it.
That's a good goal.
Now, as all this is going on, the one thing remains.
Yeah, I guess that's debatable.
Will they
Friendly drone
hit
deployed.
us with
Op
another
4 is
pandemic?
reinforcing its location.
Will they hit us with something else?
So it's 3-1.
You know, it's 3-0. It almost was 4-0. I think it is a good goal, though, at least in my opinion.
Because that's really the
I don't know
biggest
if
weapon
they're
is to keep
thinking
you
that.
dependent. So
I
that
don't
you
know
can't
if they're
be
thinking that
financially independent.
it's not a good goal because
That's
it
one of
went
the
off his
biggest
foot, but it
weapons
wasn't.
of the
There was no
globalists
kicking motion,
against
or
America
if the
is
goalie
to
was
keep
taken
you
out. But I think
financially
it's. I think
whether
it's
that's
all
just
play.
your job, welfare, whatever the case may be.
Didn't run by, so it's definitely a goal.
Drone up and running. You must recover the diffuser.
Oh, I'm fucking killed him too.
High deploy. The diffuser is now secured.
Blast area!
The diffuser is no longer in your possession. Op 4 last op standing. Friendly last operator standing.
What?
Eliminated all friendlies.
Damn.
Holy fuck, dude. You can't even see my entire body, and that still fucking kills me in one hit. Bro, shotguns are fucking on another level, bro.
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing its location. Seconds before insertion. 5 seconds to go. You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Dude, I'm around the corner, man. Such horseshit.
You have dropped the diffuser. Down to one friendly.
Whoa.
The diffuser is now secure. One op 4 remaining.
That's how it's designed to be. So all the taxes you pay, all the foreign aid, the trade deficit, all of it. That's meant to keep you financially dependent. And it could all be reversed. Somebody, I think it was actually Fauci. I need to pull this up. Maybe the crew can find it on my X.
Of course, they
I
don't get
believe
one
Fauci
shot
over
by
the weekend
shotguns.
made a prediction saying, oh, Trump is going to have another pandemic, a more deadly pandemic. Oh, really? The same guy that
Their
predicted
beliefs
he would
are
have it,
just
just like
a
Bill
joke,
Gates. Oh,
man.
Trump's going to have an unexpected
just passed it to a
pandemic. And
ghost.
then he did. Oh, amazing how that's unexpected. You expected it somehow. You knew. And now they're predicting it again?
Bomb defused. Mission successful.
Very concerning stuff. That is the only thing that could derail this. Is another bioweapon, another scamdemic, perhaps a war. Yeah, there it is right there. Good job by the crew. We'll pull that in. Let me hit some of these other headlines here. Trump and Netanyahu hold White House talks on tariffs, the war in Gaza, and more. They were supposed to be doing a press conference right now. That has been canceled, so we had the unofficial one at the Oval Office. Trump Netanyahu nix White House press conference, so we won't be carrying that. Trump announces Japanese Prime Minister is sending negotiators to discuss tariffs.
Be ready to engage op 4.
Trump announced this morning that he spoke to the Japanese Prime Minister and he plans to meet with Japan's top team of negotiators to strike a deal on tariffs. Countries from all over the world are talking to us. President Trump said, "Loading mag!" The Japanese have treated the U.S. very poorly on trade. They don't take our cars,
10 seconds.
but we take millions of theirs. Likewise, agriculture and many other
5
things
seconds
that has to change, but especially with China.
Bomb
Japan not
located
the
by
only
op 4.
country sending a team of negotiators to the White House.
Oh shit.
Working Fallout.
Loading new magazine!
What the fuck is he? This guy is a retard, bro.
All friendlies were eliminated.
I go tall. Oh.
Ukraine to send Ukraine to send team to U.S. to discuss mineral deal after Zelensky botched the first meeting. Yeah, you wonder what that team is. So it's Zelensky, the former comedian,
Loading new mag.
actor, stars in a TV show where he kills all the members of parliament, then becomes president.
Dude, do we have a team at all?
Swapping mags.
Then
Dog, I
gotta kill.
because of the war, which started as he was president.
Mission critical.
Then
Bomb diffuser activated.
the limitations run out on his declaration of emergency powers to remain as president. He's still, I guess, technically the president, or technically not the
Diffuser
president.
located. Protect the bombs. Disable the
Refuses
diffuser.
to meet with Putin. Now they're going to send a team. It's not even going to be Zelensky. He's going to send a team.
Op 4 last
Well, what's
stop
up with that?
standing.
Is he nervous to go for
Mission
himself?
failed. All friendlies
Is he
have been
embarrassed? Was he
neutralized.
never running anything to begin with? Are we about to hear from the real negotiators?
It's over, dude. Fucking over. It's over.
But no good progress on ending that war. It only gets worse. Meanwhile, 15 Democrats back Bernie Sanders' failed resolutions to cancel military aid to Israel. This is an interesting one. The Senate rejected a proposal by Senator Bernie Sanders that would have blocked the Trump
Exemplary.
administration's
My
planned
positive
$8.8
units went down by
billion
5. My
arms sale
negative
to
units didn't
Israel.
change. Tell me how that makes any fucking sense.
Here's what's
Some sense in the
this
world,
isn't
dog.
aid. This is a sale. So
One
I look at
game, my
this,
positive units go down by 5. Like, holy fuck.
I don't have to make the decision. I'm glad. $8.8 billion arms sale. So, okay, it's a sale. All right. Do we want to get in the way of a sale? Do we want to vote against a sale? Probably not. As free market capitalists, we like that. It's unfortunate, but military weapons, defense systems is, we're pretty good at that here. It's not, we call it the military-industrial complex, but okay. But then there's the moral debate, and this is where Sanders and the rest are arguing. Well, we don't support Israel's strikes, and so therefore we don't want to sell them the weapons. And of course, we can't just totally decouple from the thing now because we're so deep into it. If you
Be ready to engage Op 4.
owned a gun store and you knew the person was going to come in and buy the gun to commit a crime, would you still sell him that gun? Now, you can interpret that as far as Israel committing war crimes in the Gaza Strip or not. I'm just saying
10 seconds.
that's
Damn,
the
dog, you're
moral
playing
dilemma.
political.
5
Why did this guy just heal
$8.8
me?
billion. You have nothing to do with it.
Why
You
did-
sell them, and that's it.
Who
Op 4
healed
has
me?
located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
You doc? Oh yeah, you're trying to get your red tape.
Proximity alarm online.
Multiple guys here.
Akbar. Nice.
Dude, it's so...
Well, Israel just blew up a hospital and a school and killed a bunch of women and children. I just sold them the guns. I just sold them the bombs. We'll sell them to anybody. Or is it, we're not going to sell you these bombs. We're not going to sell you these missiles and defense systems because you just blew up a school and a hospital. So, sorry, no sale. That's what some of the Democrats are arguing, by the way. Meanwhile, more judges are trying to block Trump's deportation. I have a feeling he's going to end up right on this, but it does seem a little...
Op 4,
Something-
last stop standing.
Seems a little off here. Federal judge in scathing decision calls Trump's deportation of Salvadorian man wholly lawless.
Op 4 eliminated. Mission
Federal
successful.
judge
Go
appeals,
dog, we won.
denies Trump administration's effort to stop judge's order to return MS-13 gang member blast DOJ. Well, some are saying it was a case of mistaken identity. The Trump administration is not budging. I doubt that they would be so heavy-handed here if they didn't know this guy was gang affiliated, but the family of the individual is extremely outspoken, claiming this is a case of mistaken identity.
Be ready to engage, Op 4.
U.S. District Judge Paula Zinnis, in a 22-page decision, ordered the Department of Homeland Security and Secretary Kristi Noem to return Kilmar Armando Abrigo Garcia to the United States. The judge said neither the United States nor El Salvador have told anyone why he was returned to the very country to which he cannot return, or
5
why he
seconds
is
left.
detained at CICA. That's the El Salvadorian
Op
prison
4 has located a bomb.
where he's
Be
at,
ready
a lot
for
of other gang
hostile action.
members. Seems to get political then. She says the silence is telling as defendants acknowledge they had no legal authority to arrest him, no justification to detain him, and no grounds to send him to El Salvador, let alone deliver him to one of the most dangerous prisons in the Western Hemisphere.
Oh, there's two guys at that front door.
Friendly, last operator standing.
Like, dude, getting double
To avoid
teams
clear,
literally should be the name of the game.
irreparable harm, and because equity and justice compels it, the court grants the narrowest relief warranted to order that defendants return Abrigo Garcia to the United States.
Op 4,
So
last
it's hard
operator
to figure it
standing.
out because they're trying to block everything Trump does. So when he does something right, they try to block it. So it's like, could this be a bad case? Could this be a mistaken identity case, bad evidence case, something? Or is it just more fake news, just more corrupt judges? And that's the problem.
If he went to that
It's
rotate
everything.
right
It's
there,
history.
you fucking kill him. I was too late.
And look, I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not even offering any opinion. But
15
see,
seconds.
it's like the whole thing with, I don't know if
Time expires in
flat
10
Earth has
seconds.
ever been more popular as a
Friendly is
culture
victorious. Hostiles
as a
eliminated.
topic. And so part of that is people that really dig into it and say, some of this doesn't add up, which is fair. There's definitely things that don't add up when it comes to what we're told about the Earth and everything else. Again, I'm not here to have the debate, but I'm just saying. There's things you can look at and say, yeah, okay, this doesn't add up. Does it mean the Earth is flat? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. The point is that we've been lied to about so much. That's just where it goes. Everything must be a lie. So could they have made a mistake with this guy? Maybe. Or is it just more fake news? Is it just more attacks on the Trump administration deporting people? Now you just don't even know. More court decisions. Did you hear about this one over the weekend? North Carolina appeals court sides with Republican Jefferson
Friendly drone
Griffin
deployed.
in
Op
ballot
4 is
dispute.
reinforcing its location.
A significant development that could alter the outcome of North Carolina's 2024 Supreme Court election. The state's Court of Appeals ruled on April 4th, 2025, that was over the weekend, that tens of thousands of ballots might have been improperly counted.
Insertion in 10 seconds.
The decision centers on the contested race between Democrat
5
incumbent
seconds to go.
Allison Riggs and Republican challenger Jefferson Griffin.
Found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
That's a castle.
Drone ready.
Dude, what the fuck is this guy doing, man?
Special charge. Stay clear. Take cover. It's on.
Sniper!
I have you covered!
Mindset. Connected.
A is empty. You can probably plant, bro.
Hello is in there.
Operator
What in
standing.
the?
Op 4 neutralized.
Yeah. Wait, I didn't even know you shot the second guy. What the hell? Yo,
Yeah.
this guy's cracked.
Don't fuck with me, dog. I'm telling you, man, whenever I play Montaigne, dude, fucking lights out.
I'll be back. I'm just gonna go get a piece of cheesecake.
Hey, dog, you there? You there, dog?
Back up. You there, dog?
Yeah. Man,
What?
fucking gay, dude.
What is?
You.
Nice, dude. Dude, why are there so many femboy names on this fucking game?
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing its location. Seconds to go. 5 seconds to insertion. You found a bomb.
Damn, dog,
Make
it's
your way
cold
to its
enough I
location
could
and
play
defuse it.
a saddle.
We could turn on the air conditioning.
I just said it's not 1,000 degrees outside.
Activating drone. New mag.
Drop the diffuser. Down to one friendly. We have been eliminated.
What happened, dog?
This guy out-camered me.
Nice.
Being, that have normal internet, I won't be cameraing people anyways.
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing its location. Seconds. 5 seconds. You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Drone ready.
Oh,
Man, that's fucking horseshit.
nice, dude.
The diffuser is no longer in your possession. One friendly operator remaining.
What happened?
Damn, so the Leafs got one and they scored. Florida scored again.
We have been eliminated.
So what's the score? 4-1?
Yeah.
Are people leaving the arena or whatever?
Well, there aren't that many. There are a few seats empty, but I haven't seen people specifically leaving. Very dead crowd though. Two guys passing it back and forth in their own zone. Like, what's the point? Just fucking get it out.
Be ready to engage Op 4.
Almost fucking get a turnover.
My beautiful evil eye is ready. Get back.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Animals activated.
My evil eye ready to kill something. Changing mag!
Oh, say I hear.
Dude, what is that?
Nice.
Friendly, last operator standing. Mission failed. All friendlies have been neutralized.
Shut the hell up, Brockatron, you fucking idiot. Don't piss me off before I get mad at you. You fucking jerk off. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh.
Alright, I'll be back.
Oh. Oh. Holy fucking shit. Oh.
Who the fuck do I play? Damn dog, you're playing the baddie.
Who trailed by 734 votes out of 5.5 million votes cast. Following the recount confirming Riggs' narrow lead,
Dude,
that's the Democrat,
I'm
Griffin
so
challenged
happy
the validity of
that I don't own
approximately
anything.
65,000 ballots. His primary contention is that these ballots lacked required identifying information, such as driver's license or social security numbers, raising questions.
There was a feminist today, or like I saw a debate of a feminist where
Be
she
ready
was
to
actually
eliminate hostiles.
pro WEF. And I'm like, yeah, you definitely shouldn't be voting if that's the case, bro. Holy fuck.
Throwing the bait.
Op 4 located the biohazard container. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds left.
Setting up a diversion.
Op 4 has located the biohazard container.
Questions about
Deploying heartbeat sensor.
Damn.
One friendly operator remaining. One Op 4 remaining. Friendlies
Yeah.
hostiles eliminated.
See the nice two-piece though?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I fucked them up. See, I love it how you troll, and then I could get 4 kills somehow.
Be ready to engage Op 4.
Swapping max.
Op 4 located the biohazard container.
Litigate on.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, it's indestructible though.
It
Protect
is.
the biohazard container at all costs.
It's supposed to. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Reloading. In position.
Deploying heartbeat sensor. Deploy.
Protect the biohazard. Securing the container.
Good bitch.
Operator remaining. Op 4, last stop standing. Op 4 is securing the biohazard container. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Oh, Bomba.
Bomba Rosington, dog. Nice. Fucking idiots
What?
passing it back and forth. They almost fucking lose it in their own end. Like, God, dude. Retards.
About their legality. So
These
now
people
this is
get
gonna
paid
make
millions
its
to give the
way.
puck away. While we
North
get
Carolina
paid
judges
literally
side
nothing
with
to
Republican
fucking sit
colleague
here
in
and
close
bomb.
Supreme Court election. North Carolina Court of Appeals gives over 60,000 challenged voters 15 days to prove eligibility. Who's making any bets on this? So we're talking about a race.
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is
We're talking
reinforcing
about
its
a race
location.
that was won by less than 1,000 votes by the Democrat. Now, 65,000 votes are about to be reviewed. All we know at this point is that the votes that are being reviewed are heavily Democrat.
Insertion in 10
And if they
seconds.
are reversed, it will flip that race. The Republican will win.
5 seconds.
I'm betting that's exactly right.
Nicely done. The biohazard container has
If
been
I'm a
located. Biohazard container located. Proceed to its location.
Drone activated.
Damn. I fucked up. That's what they do.
Activating code.
One Op 4 remaining.
Whoa. Whoa.
Secure the room. Protect the bio container.
Damn.
Securing the container. Hostile activity. Neutralize the threat. Op 4 neutralized. Mission successful.
Bro, I fucking got the last kill. What the hell is this? Oh, yeah, people are leaving. It's 5-1. Yep, people are leaving.
Yeah, dude. Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah, they have the cameras on now.
Supreme Court seat in North Carolina.
Yep, now you can see it in the background.
We find out they were cheating in
Jesus.
California now. See, we don't flip it. It's like, oh yeah, we found out they cheated in these house races in California, but it's too late.
5-1, dude. Fucking joke.
At Scotiabank Arena.
Dude, I would just start fights right now.
Odds
Dude.
from Game 5 to Game 6 was so impressive.
If I'm out, I might as well take them with me, bro.
Thought we were going to get a rerun of Game 5 here tonight.
Yeah, you can hear it. Man. They're kind of
Three
booing.
on the ice, so we'll have to be careful about that. As it's sent in by Lawton.
Yeah, dude, honestly, like, what the fuck is the point of the team if they're just gonna be a
Flipped out to center ice.
fucking a drain on income? Gonna fucking lose every goddamn season.
Was not as lopsided statistically as everybody assessed. But this one certainly feels like it's lopsided. More debris on the ice. Come on, fans, stay on that. That's the players going back.
You know what I'm saying, dog?
Everybody getting hurt on that. I understand the frustration, but in the middle of play, no way. Got over the line with Bennett.
Yeah, the commentator just basically
Past the
didn't
midway
get
mark
mad, but he
of
said,
the third. And the Panthers
implied they
have
shouldn't be booing while they're playing.
up 5-1.
Why in the fuck shouldn't they? They pay money to see their fucking team lose for the past 50 years, 60 years? It's a joke, dude. If one person didn't, a single person didn't show up, they would deserve
Uptime
it.
means more payments, more connections, more orders. Uptime means everything to your small business because there's no time.
I wonder
for
what kind of like pep talk they gave each other before coming into the game.
uptime guarantee.
This falls flat on its face. 5-1.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Let's go. We can
It's
do
like, I
this.
don't know.
We deserve this. This is our time, and then they get absolutely fucking dogged.
5 seconds.
Like, how bad do you want it?
Located a bomb.
That's like 5-1. It's like, oh shit, I guess we don't want it.
This is what we were born for. This is what we live for. This could be your last chance. Boom. It's fucking last chance.
It's over.
Here, I hear someone above us.
Above?
Yeah, like right up here. So they could be in this courtyard on the balcony above.
Mindset.
Okay, is that the
Oh,
winding
somebody
stairs?
died. Right?
You have dropped the diffuser.
Well, I can't do anything.
Friendly, last operator standing.
Use your grenade.
All
Oh,
friendlies have been
fuck.
eliminated.
Fine, dude. Wow, dude.
Didn't even hit me.
Who scored the only goal for Toronto? Do you know?
That I don't know. I wasn't watching exactly when it happened. I just saw the aftermath, I think. And then, like within a minute, they scored their fourth goal, and now it's 5-1.
Dude, what would you do if like a bunch of
Forcing its location.
like fans just like bum rush the rink and started beating the shit out of the
The Leafs are the other team.
no, not the Leafs.
Dude, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Insertion in 10 seconds.
Like, whenever, I swear, whenever they're in the playoffs, it looks like they're giving up.
5
It
seconds.
doesn't look like they're getting outplayed. It looks like they're genuinely just not. It's like they're playing
You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and
like a
defuse it.
scrimmage, where they don't want to get hurt. That's a cage.
Damn.
What
You
a
have dropped the
fucking
diffuser.
faggot retard, dude. Dude, your dad too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's so stupid. Oh my god.
Op 4 eliminated all friendlies.
Jeez.
did-
Oh.
Why did it show our teammate on the left?
Yeah. That's what I was wondering.
This game's busted, dude.
How many minutes are? Third.
7:15, third period.
Oh yeah, dude. We could totally get four goals in that time, dude.
Be ready to engage Op 4. Down to 5 seconds. Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
I think I know exactly the year that I stopped watching 2013. 'Cause that's when they lost that year in the playoffs, and I was just like, yeah, these people are fucking retarded. Still to this day, the worst play I've ever seen from a professional player. Damn, dog, you don't have the red triangle, dog.
Oh shit, dude.
It's because I willed it so.
Oh man. I'm glad that they're getting booed, dude.
Yeah, a lot. Not a bunch of seats, but from when you asked me before, there are a lot more seats empty now. Dude, I wanted to go
Alright, I'll be back.
6-1.
Yeah, I know.
One friendly operator remaining. All friendlies were eliminated.
Damn,
Mission
dog,
failure.
you got fucked up. Yo, dog, you there?
Whoa.
Yo, dog, you there? Yo, dog, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Time means more payments, more connections, more orders. Uptime means everything to your small business because there's no time for downtime. Get Rogers Business Internet with our 99.99% uptime guarantee.
Yo, dog, you there?
Yep.
My positive score went down by 9 points from one game.
How do you feel about that?
Not surprised.
Oh, I'm so glad I have Toronto Maple Leafs.
Be ready to eliminate hostiles.
Fucking, it's my team, dude. So amazing. Literally the best team in the league.
Putting the shell in play.
Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds and counting.
Come, motherfucker.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Throwing a razor bloom.
I fucking looked exactly up to the sky.
Missed.
Reload.
One Op 4 remaining. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
See, I love when I actually get gunfights, I don't lose them. Most of the time. Oh,
I
they're
do.
booing.
Good.
They pulled their goalie at 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Good. Why did they do that again?
Why do they do it?
Yeah.
They get an extra man.
Oh, yeah.
Which
I hope
I feel like
they
it.
fucking score.
I feel like in the past 5 to 10 years, it hasn't really done anything, and they just scored again on opener.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6-1.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah,
And
dude, imagine you go and pay to fucking watch that.
hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, yeah. And the thing is, I'd usually hate on the goalie, but me watching how they played when I was standing there before they got any goals, it was horrible watching the team play. The goalie was fine. The team is garbage.
10 seconds remaining.
I know they made it to the playoffs. I couldn't care less. The way they're playing is garbage. Me being a house league player could fucking see how
4 has located a
how
bomb.
bad they're playing. Yeah, now most of the seats are actually empty.
Good.
This is actually what the arena looks like right now. Is what it looks like in a season where they're not even winning. Like a random ass game against a random team. Also, one of the players on the other team just said it's fucking embarrassing.
Yep.
Where was that guy? I can't even see him. Oh shit, there's a door right there.
Absolutely Disgusting, dude.
Swooping Max!
Fucking joke.
I feel like that's what always happens though. Like, never get your hopes up with these fucking people, bro.
You know what their market cap is?
No.
Like how much the team is worth? No.
It's probably inflated since it's the Leafs.
Seconds. 10 seconds to go. Op 4, last stop standing. Time limit reached.
In Toronto Maple fags, dude. It's one.
Prepare for a difficult game 7. Okay, you check that off the box, but you get 1 day of prep or 1 day of rest. And the Carolina Hurricanes, who are a tough out, will be sitting waiting to get started. Edmond tries to center it. Walking after the game.
It's weird watching them play. It's like watching those really skilled players play shinny, where they're not actually trying. They're just kind of skating around and stick handling, and they don't care if they give the puck away or if they turn over. It's really weird. What the fuck? There's some like brown shit on the ice. What the fuck is that?
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing
That's
its
people
location.
fucking throwing shit, dude.
Still booing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I think there's more seats empty than there are full.
10 seconds to insertion.
If I had to guess, I think that's the case.
5 seconds before insertion. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
35 seconds. You know, I don't fucking care at all, but it's just my dad has been following it, and they haven't won since he was like fucking 7 years old.
Yeah. Must be tough, dog. Like I was the first person to get killed. But...
This guy missed bullets while I'm not even moving.
Selma is activated.
You know where the team sits in the game, like coach and like all the players.
Yeah, like the bench.
Yes. Yeah, the bench. Dude, I hope people just throw everything in there when they're in there.
I don't know if
all
anyone. I
televised.
don't know if anyone's in the arena wants to do that.
The time limit has been reached. Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing its location.
Don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. Yeah.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds to go. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
I saw that dog.
Yeah.
Don't
Fuck is this shit, dude?
That's sense.
See this?
That's the block on. It's useless.
No.
Nice. This guy's so good.
You must recover the diffuser.
This is how you do it.
What does he do?
We have been
What the fuck was he doing?
Bro, he was witnessing greatness.
after a disappointing game 5 and Wisconsin game 6 and a game 7 that you can see the reaction of every single player on their face. Shared a 3-point night, 12 points in the postseason, 10 times. He's hit
How much they love the game.
What do you say?
Did you fucking hear that lady? I assume she's talking about Chiefs.
Yeah, like to recap, she looks like a man. I don't really care what she says.
Razor Bloom go now.
She looked like a bro.
Down to 10 seconds.
Explosive ordnance out in
5 seconds to insertion. Op 4 bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
Holy shit.
Yo.
Dude, when I troll,
Dude,
it just doesn't matter, man.
dude, I thought you were gonna get on the drone and stun him and let yourself die, dude. Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude, I'm 2 and 5.
One friendly operator remaining.
Oh.
They got away with it. Then you have this in North Carolina.
Mission failed. All
There's a
friendlies
lot
were
of
eliminated.
strangeness going on with that Wisconsin race from last week as well. The people are looking into that. They're probably going to find something strange there too. They've already got some numbers that don't add up, but what does it all mean? We'll probably find out before the end of the month. Democrats, 21% approval rating. Just lost the popular vote for the first time in decades. And then you have all of these races, these races like this
we'll
one.
start with you. We'll work our way at the bottom. We'll work our way up. What are you doing, Sam? What did you think about the series today? I was pretty shocked.
Do I gas him or do I not gas him?
I don't know, Sam. Be very careful what you say, because if you start gassing Optic, you know, I mean, they're saying don't do it, Sam. They're saying don't do it.
These guys are shit. These guys are awful. Tyler had a fuck you series today. That was fun to watch.
Yeah,
Mercules Bowl. Unfortunately, Mercules is victorious in the Mercules Bowl. Yeah, man. I mean, Optic looked good. They had a good win to end the stage. Very weird stage for them. They beat Vancouver and Ultra, lost to Boston and LAG, as everyone predicted that would happen. So, I mean, good win to end going into the major.
Allah Akbar.
Where a Democrat wins by a couple hundred, and then
Dorms were playing on
review the ballots, and then no, the Democrat didn't win. But see, the difference is if they actually flip this race and say no, the Republican won, it was stolen. Now all of a sudden, you kind of have to go into this stuff and say, okay, what did they do in Wisconsin with that Supreme Court special election? What did they do in California with those 5 House seats that they counted for weeks after the election until the Democrat had the most votes and then called it? When do we review that? When do we flip those races? And when, maybe most importantly, do the American people understand the Democrats would have no political power? They wouldn't win any elections if it wasn't for cheating. If it wasn't for cheating, I'm not sure the Democrats would have any political power or win any election. Now,
Op 4 is located in the bomb. Get ready to engage.
you take election fraud, voter fraud out of the equation, and then
This guy's so good.
you take all the Soros money out of the equation. A lot of that's USAID money as well. This is
Look
how
how
you.
fucking good this guy is.
This is how you paralyze the Democrats politically.
What's going
If you
on?
remove all these corrupt Soros judges, attorneys, if you stop letting Democrats steal elections with voter fraud, it's game over for them. And it's long overdue. And people are looking at it now, especially another weekend of these Trump-Musk protests. And people are just sick of it. And they realize these protesters, they don't even know what they're doing out there. In fact, this was probably the most
Yo,
violent clip of
dog.
the weekend.
We're gonna die.
Musk shared it too. For me, it's like, you know, we've been doing this. I've been doing this since 2015, 2016. So sticking a microphone in a Trump hater liberal's face and proving that they're complete ignorant buffoons is like, you know, it's like that's from 10 years ago for us. But okay, people are catching up, so that's the good thing. But here's the one from over
Hey,
the
switch
weekend
to
that
your
people are
pistol
like,
and say
wow,
what the
these Democrats really don't know what they're protesting. Hey, you don't say. Welcome to the party. Here it is, clip 5.
So what makes Trump a fascist?
That's right in front of their face, in front of the Dodgers. It went like this in clip 1.
Congratulations, Brian. And others, we have a couple of senators here. I just don't particularly like them, so I won't introduce. Over the course of this amazing season, the members of this team.
Be ready to engage on 4.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that big a deal. Washington. Over the course of this amazing season, the members of this team gave us some of the most.
I wish we would have had a zoomed out response video to see all of them reacting to that instead of just
5
kind of that
seconds
little
to insertion.
window. Does this one have it? They're still kind of zoomed in
Op 4
there.
has located a bomb. Get
The
ready to
vast
engage.
majority of Major League Baseball are conservatives and or Christians. So it wouldn't surprise me a joke making fun of the Democrats would land well, as it did. I love that. I love rubbing it in Adam Schiff's face, Eric Swalwell's face, right in front of him.
Camera feed up and running.
Right in front of him. Did we ever figure out, I think, did the Eagles ever say whether they're going to go? The rumor, they are, yeah. They first, no more fake news. Philadelphia Eagles reject White House invitation. Never happened. Never happened. Just totally fake news, totally made it up. So the Eagles will be going to the White House. Did they go after the Super Bowl? What was that, like 7 years ago? Did they go after that? They rejected the first invitation, and so just like the Dodgers rejected the first invitation, then when the Eagles are going to be doing the same thing. Speaking of California, Gavin Newsom, how much money, how many billions
1 friendly remaining.
have just disappeared into this high-speed rail system that Newsom has been talking about since
All friendlies were
2008?
eliminated.
Where did the billions go?
I love how the one time I get
down to LA in 2.5 hours, 50
Nice,
killed by a
dude.
dog,
California, we're still debating
it's
a
when I
high-speed
stand
rail.
up.
What a joke. Well, finally,
Right in the
California
view of the
is
guy.
going to get it right with this new high-speed rail. I personally have been
Yeah,
supporting
dude.
the high-speed rail project since my time as mayor of the city and county of San Francisco.
The project is no longer a $33 billion project. The project's years and years behind. The project's wildly over budget. That doesn't mean it's a bad idea. We can get phase 1 done, which in essence is from Bakersfield to Silicon Valley.
We do have the
There's no phase
capacity
one. There's no
to
phase-
complete a
there's no phase
high-speed
at all.
rail link between Merced and Bakersfield. Now, I know some critics are going to say, well, that's a train to nowhere. We have a real federal partner with our high-speed rail system, an incredible opportunity to finish the work.
High-speed rail was mentioned. $4.2 billion is being requested of the legislature to finish the
Friendly
job.
drone deployed.
Someone
Op
who's
4 is
reinforcing
reinforcing its location.
the high-speed rail, not as a rail project, but an economic development project. $3.6 billion. It's about damn time we have a high-speed rail system.
Where did the billions go? California high-speed rail,
10 seconds
$15.7
before
billion
insertion.
already invested in failed project.
5 seconds
As
before
Republicans
insertion.
criticize Newsom. Well, I would like to know where
You've
the money
located a bomb. Make your way to its location.
I
and
would like
defuse
to
it.
know where the billions have gone. Whose pockets did they end up in? Because not a single rail has been laid for this high-speed rail system. It's more than just California, though. It's just like Joe Biden's
Here we go. August positioned.
Op 4 last operator standing. Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful.
So you want your horse to know you a little bit, but you don't want to be scared. They can tell your heartbeat through their reins.
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing its location.
No way this hard suck silver's talking shit, dude. That's fucking crazy.
Sorry?
This retard at the bottom of their team is talking shit because he thinks he's good.
10 seconds before
beyond
insertion.
insane.
project with the electric vehicle
5
charging
seconds to go.
stations, and then they built like a $700 million project. They built
Located a
7
bomb.
charging
Make
stations.
your way to its location and defuse it. You must recover the diffuser.
You got someone killed. Let's go, dude.
The diffuser has been secured.
Pretty lit, dude.
Changing max!
Friendly last op.
The flaws.
The diffuser is now secured. You have dropped the diffuser. All friendlies have been eliminated.
Yo, we fucking lost? Bullshit is this? Oh, well, Yo, you could just stream. Fucking hate this.
Maybe it's Joe Biden's internet broadband connection plan that didn't connect a single person to the internet and cost
I
billions.
love how a kid with a .8 KD is telling me that
We have
that his
damn
KD's positive.
dirty
Unreal, dude.
thieves.
People are actually fucking retarded.
Damn dirty thieves in our politics, folks. We could have, of course, we could have had a high-speed rail system. Hell, for the money we gave Ukraine, we could have built a high-speed rail system, probably spanning across the entire United States, which might be nice, considering how miserable flying is these days. Might be nice. I know it'd be very utilized. It'd be heavily utilized here in Texas.
You heard about
With the amount
Biden,
of
though?
No, what about him?
Apparently he has some sort of... It's either prostate cancer or bone cancer, one of the two. Or both.
Damn, dog, what do you think of that?
He's old, I'm not surprised. But my sister, like in the afternoon, just her question was, did you hear about Trump? And I'm like, well, what kind of question is that, first of all? And then she said, apparently there was a 25-minute speech of him rambling. And then people on TikTok think that he has dementia. Like, what's new, dude? First of all, it's TikTok, and then two, the same people saying that said nothing about Biden, so I couldn't care less.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds to insertion. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Wall reinforced!
Don't reinforce it.
Oh my god, this fucking piece of shit, useless ass teammate.
Last operator standing.
Traffic going from Dallas, Houston,
Bomb
San Antonio,
diffuser
and
in
Austin.
place.
Oh yeah, you would definitely utilize here. But no. See,
Fucking useless
instead,
retards, man.
we
Diffuser located. Protect the bombs.
Build
Disable the
these
diffuser.
highway
Op 4,
programs.
last
They're
operator
trying
standing.
to rebuild 35.
Mission failed.
Probably the biggest highway in Texas, arguably. And let's say Dallas to Austin is the busiest stretch. So they're trying to rebuild this, and then they make an announcement, and they're like, well, yeah, it might take...
One thing, are you there?
Yeah.
One thing that always weird, like I thought was weird, is for games like Baldur's Gate and all ones like that, where to get on the roof of Moonrise Towers, you have to kill the guards, right? And then open the door.
Oh, I think so.
It's kind of weird because I'd assume most people would think that they don't want to kill the guards yet because it might fuck up something in the story.
Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Bomb
Dude, who
located.
reinforces this? Dude, I didn't hit. No way, I didn't hit the bullet. That is fucking bullshit. That made no sense. Lay it on the line. Lay it on the line.
Replay poker.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the one and only, the human turret, the world champ himself, one of the best heroes ever do it. Give it up for the executive producer of The Flank, Sam LaRue Octane. We got some of the best analysis in the game, the world champ, the Forte, coming in hot. Give it up for Christopher Duarte, Parasite. We got the multi-world champion, the multi-champion, the legend and icon. To the Cold New Space, give it up for Patrick Price Hicks, and of course we got Benji the scene. What's going on, Benji? How you doing?
Why he say fuck
you
me
guys can do
for?
a show without me. I'm out of here.
Hey, and off goes Benji. There
Ain't
he
no
goes.
party like a Benjay absence party.
Hey, Ben, they made me do it, Benji. They made me do it.
No, they made who's they?
Everybody in the chat. It's all their fault. It's all their fault. Ben, how you doing,
All
Ben?
their
You doing
fault.
all right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was on the show yesterday. Went to the crew game. Pretty good. Watched Scotty Scheffler win the PGA Championship today. W. Max Verstappen.
Nice.
Win W. And then hopefully the Leafs clutch tonight because I know a lot of people, I know a lot of Toronto friends, and they're very sad. Toronto Maple Leafs fans. Either team always disappoints. Maybe this time they'll actually clutch.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. What about you, misters?
And defuse it.
Swapping bags.
Drop the diffuser. Friendly, last operator standing. All friendlies have been eliminated.
I fucking killed him.
Sam LaRue, we had a good watch party today. Quiet watch party
You
today.
gonna play a Seto, or are you gonna fucking gay, dude?
I couldn't quite put my finger on
I
it.
don't know what it was.
It's only 10:45.
Blackout 6 online is over.
Thank God, ladies
Bro.
and gentlemen. Can we
We
get
made
a
it
roll
to the
call?
end.
Don't
Get
we
off
get
that
a
Get a
roll
round
call
of
in the
applause
chat?
in the chat room. I mean,
Well, it
Unbelievable.
dropped
Let's
down by
wrap
5,
that now.
but then
It went by
my
quick.
positive
Sam,
went
it
down by
quick,
20,
Sam.
but my
Really quick.
negative went down by
Thank God.
5.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we all, we have our, we obviously don't like online COD very much. We prefer land COD, but it's been a great year, right? I know online's not really ideal, but I think we've watched Volt Control and some of these maps a lot of times. I think we're excited to get into some majors and some big tournaments. Right, we got Major 4, DreamHack, we got Champs, we got EWC. So we're ending the year with a bang.
Let me know when you're gonna play the fucking race.
Well, but before we go, what about you, Duarte? How you doing? You doing all right, Chris?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yo,
I'm excited for
Elden Ring.
DreamHack. It's gonna be at least my first event for the entire year. We didn't really travel to many, but that's okay. It's gonna make this one a lot sweeter. Super excited for the venue, the layout, and then all of the other activities going around. Man, it's given that MLG vibe, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it's I'm excited for it, honestly. What about you, Pat? I see you got the Plumber League back up there. How you feeling, Pat? You feeling all right?
Oh shit! Where am I at, bro?
Pat, where'd you go, Pat?
Just
a blast
It's
of
pitch black
void.
in your room. All we can see is your neon light. That's all we can see. It says H.
I gotta figure that out.
5
I'll
seconds to
figure
go.
it out in a second. But yeah, Tom, I'm doing great. We are in the.
You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
I'm going to scout around. Drone activated. Getting you eyes on the hostile.
You must recover the diffuser. Friendly, last operator standing. All friendlies have been eliminated.
The plumber era.
Boys,
But
boys.
yeah, I mean, yesterday was a phenomenal show. I don't know if it'll top, if we can top it today. We'll see. But yeah, man,
Absolutely.
we're good.
Pat, you're counting through the plumber fucking picture back up. Guys,
I
we
gotta
do-
figure this out.
We do got some matches to cover. We're also going to be building a bracket on today's flank. Obviously, we're headed into DreamHack here in a week, so we're going to build out our bracket. We'll see what the first round matchups are looking like and see how everything kind of rolled out and played out. But before we do that, let's hop in and let's talk about some of these matches. Let's hop into the first match of the day. And man, did we have a grueler, ladies and gentlemen. A 3-0 victory for the Boston Breach over the Los Angeles Guerrillas. LAG getting pooped on yet again. A map one rewind hardpoint 250 to 118 in that one. And then we go to a dealership S&D 6-3 there, and a Hacienda Control 3-2. Boston closed out the 3-0 over LAG. Obviously LAG just a really rough season for them. They finish out the online matches getting pooped on, and I just feel like at this point, what are we supposed to say, right? We'll take. Oh man! Woo! Man, it scared me for a second. That Tyler Fellow with a .71, Kismet with a .88, Lunars with a .93, Oh Johnny with a .96. On the other side, he had a .81 from Cammy, but everybody else pulling weight. You got a big series from Big Weight today, a 1.36 from him. Purge with a 1.10 and Snoopy with a 1.37. So good plays coming out of the Boston Breach. Let's go down and take a look at the match MVP. It's going to go to Snoop with a 1.39 in Hardpoint, a 2.4 in Surge, and a 1.13 in Control. Ben, we'll start with you. We'll go from the top down. LAG against Boston. LAG continue to get pooped on. Actually, Ben, if I remember correctly, I believe that you picked LAG yesterday in your predictions.
The diffuser is
And
no longer
we
in
were
your
all
possession.
flaming you, and everybody was pissed,
One
and now
friendly
you're costing
operator
us the
remaining.
breaking point predictions.
Man, you guys didn't pick Optic though, so why are you blaming me? You guys. have
Oh
something else to say, too.
shit!
Did you
Yeah,
pick
but
up
that
the-
wasn't the
Stand on
freebie.
business, Ben.
That wasn't the freebie.
Yeah,
though,
well,
man.
you
This
guys
is the
choked the
freebie.
close one. I got the close one and choked the freebie. It works both ways, Sam. Is all I'm saying.
Wait, that is true. Wait, did you pick Optic yesterday?
He did.
I did.
DM Ben did.
In the DM.
Yeah, the problem is
Wow.
though, you're only supposed to pick one upset a day, and you picked two.
I tried to cheat. Everybody said they only got one right, I got one incorrect. You know what? You're batting 500. It is what it is, man.
No way, dude.
Better than these LAG cats, to be honest, because they're what 4-23 on the season or some shit like that.
They're like
25.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean,
Oh no,
listen,
they
so
won. Never mind. They got a win for 5.
I'll say this about
We
this
have been
series.
eliminated.
It's very funny to me that #1 Big Wake supporter, Nameless, wasn't even working today. Because Wake decided to have an absolute like masterclass today. Found that very funny. I think for Boston, you know, they have actually been fairly solid against teams of this caliber this season.
Dead
and they
last
needed
in the fucking league.
I mean, yeah, against shit teams like LAG. I think for Boston, it's just nothing in this online split has really changed what I think our perception of this team is. They are at best top 6, and that's just kind of how it is. So I won't be surprised if they pull up this event, they win a couple of series, and they get out. I also won't be surprised if they get like instantly out of the tournament by Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I think it
Friendly
depends
drone
what Boston
deployed.
we get,
Op
right?
4 is
It's like, what are these
reinforcing
guys
its
actually
location.
bringing? But what do you think, Pat? What do you think of the series? How do you think about Boston going into the major? Where's your head at with these guys?
Man, I think
How'd
both
you
these
wake
teams
up,
suck.
Okay.
I
I don't
got
actually
both these
remember.
teams losing right away, honestly, unless they play
What
each
time
other.
you go to bed?
10 seconds to
I'm
insertion.
out. I
We'll
think
probably fall
like
asleep, like
yeah,
probably
you
5
got a good
something.
series out of Wake, but like that's a
Insertion
1 in
in
10
5
dice
seconds.
roll. I mean,
It's also LAG.
yeah, yeah, this good
Bomb
series is
location
versus
and
the worst
defuse
team in the league. So yeah, not much to say for me tonight. I think both these teams blow it up. I don't want to see a single player back on the roster. except
From
for
both
Snoopy.
teams? From both teams. You don't want to see a single player come back.
Maybe Purge and Snoop. That's it.
Okay. What about you, Duarte? You blowing up both teams?
This is the Duarte series of the day, bro. Like, we've had one of these at least every single day. This is
Loading mag.
Spotted. Op 4 last stop standing. Bomb diffusion initiated. Protect the diffuser. Op 4 neutralized. Mission successful.
definitely the one. Zero analysis for me. This was a pure fantasy stat padding. And when we get to fantasy,
I got 16-0, bro. I'm ripping the Band-Aid.
I think I set a record, no bullshit, for the most that somebody's ever won. I almost thought that Sam didn't put up a
16-0, bro.
roster.
No
That was
way.
actually mind blowing.
You want to know why?
bodied
Because I
Sam?
had the fantasy curse, bro.
That's insane. That's
You're gonna look at you're gonna look at my team and tell me that I got 16-0, bro. I bet.
Sam's taking for the #1 pick next year.
Bullshit.
I mean, Sam, rumor on the street is that everybody you gas
drone
get
deployed.
shit on.
Op
What's
4
going
is
on with that,
reinforcing
Sam?
its
Talk to
location.
me.
I'm done throwing gas. I'm done saying anything positive, bro. I get shit for being negative all the time, and this is why I
Damn.
throw gas.
You
and
gotta
teams
stop throwing
just-
gas and start throwing
I
ass.
can't fucking gas anybody, bro.
Who did you gas?
I said that Boston was like getting better and like just like playing decent and
10
overperforming, and then they
seconds before
lost
insertion.
every series this entire fucking qualifier. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I gassed Vancouver.
seconds.
They
I
got
guess
shit
you're
on when
right.
they came
You said
home.
they were
like-
overperforming. You were right.
So the
I
green
guess,
wall
yeah.
is praying you
Located
don't
a
gas
bomb.
optic
Make
today.
your way to the
Damn, they look great. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, this is just one of those series. I mean, the chat was spamming Skip. There's really not much to say here. I think it's kind of just now. It's what does LAG do, right?
I'm reloading.
Do they make changes?
Drone is ready.
Frag grenade out.
Oh!
How was that, dude?
Almost killed my teammate. And then he died before my nade blew up, so no good.
After the major, start focusing on the EWC. Or what? Because they're obviously not making champs, right? So DreamHack is going to be the last time we probably see these guys play together. I would be shocked if they sent this roster to EWC.
Friday night, Tom. I want to blow up Friday night.
You heard Pat. He wants it right away.
It's interesting you say that because I would love, if someone knows, all EWC-wide roster lock was earlier this week. And the way the rules work is that the individual rule books for each team for their kick-on, you can't make, quote, major changes. So if anyone has their rule book, knows what the terms are, if these teams can actually drop like their entire roster on these players, let us know, and that will dictate, obviously, what teams like LAG and Vegas can actually do after this event.
That's interesting, no, Pat? So they can't change, so they're limited on what they can do, Ben?
Potentially, we don't know, because we don't know the rule book for the competition. That's the question.
What is a quote major change?
Exactly, I don't know what a fucking major change is.
Is that sounds like more than two, right? That sounds like more than two.
Probably change
half. I don't know.
Either way, fun stat. LAG is 58 and 142 all-time CDL. Damn. That's 20%. They're in their 20% for win rate.
And Adam Assault gave them their best season. Just saying.
I mean, that's
the
insane.
LG brand will go out as one of the saddest brands in the history of COD, yet somehow they still want a fucking event. So
I mean, hey, they still accomplished it more than a lot of the. I mean, bro, there are a lot of organizations that haven't sniffed an event yet in the CDL.
Wait, people said like I wasn't a part of that. I'm 1 for 1.
Damn dog, I can play
That's
ranked.
50%, huh?
He played one match.
1 for 1? What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, dude. Well, I'm fucking tired, dude. So I'm just gonna keep watching.
I beat Florida and I lost to Minnesota in the scam fucking loss where I got forfeited.
You played 2 series on on LAG?
Pretty sure, yeah.
And you got 400 bans?
Yes. Hey, it was a good year.
You got 400 grand. And you played 2 series?
Hey, 50% win rate.
And took a month off of scrims.
And
it was fully guaranteed.
Sam.
Hey, shout out David in chat, bro. Me and David were farming those LAG cats.
They were nowhere to be found in scrims for the first one.
Those were your only wins. Those were your only wins.
Yeah, right they were, Chris.
To be fair, and a lot of people back me up if you were there. Tom, I think you were there. When we went to the Activision, when we were in the basement at Activision for 3 days straight, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna get all this in a big patch. And wrap it up.
And
yeah,
they did
never
nothing.
came.
They never did. They did absolutely nothing.
Not a single
Bro, they just
thing
take you to the studios just to say that they did it. They don't actually give a fuck.
No, but this one was different, bro. We were there for like, we weren't even in the
Result was
studio.
the same.
Yeah,
we weren't in the studio. We were in the basement of Activision with notepads. Yeah, we played for 3 days, bro.
We were just grinding COD, all the new maps.
It was the Activision office, not the actual studios. But, bro, Casey Kramer was there.
Casey.
Bro, it was like Joanna was peeping. Like it was like, yo, we're gonna make these changes happen. Never came, bro.
Yeah, this never happened. It's almost like they just listened to us. They just went through one ear and out the other, and they just forgot about it. It's just
fucking
over with.
absurd.
But hey, you guys got any other final thoughts here with Boston or LAG before we move on to the next one? Any thoughts?
No, I think these are candidates to be out of the tournament by 5:30 in the afternoon on Friday.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on when we get to the bracket. We'll see what the matchups are looking like and stuff, and you know, we'll make our predictions. But yeah, that series was a wash. But let's move on to the next one. Another grueler, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Toronto Ultra going up against the Optic Texas, and this one ended in a 3-0. Optic Texas actually taking a big W here against Toronto, taking down a top team. Honestly, it's a great win for Optic with a big 3-0 before we head over to DreamHack. They got the first map, the Volt Hardpoint, 220 to 216 on the Volt Hardpoint. That was a very weird map, the way that one played out. Then we go to Hacienda S&D, 6-4. Optic win that one as well. And then a 3-1 in the Protocol Control. Optic looking good here against Toronto. We'll scroll down in Omaron. It is a red carpet for the Toronto Ultra. You don't see that often. You got Beans with a .87, Kleenex with a .96, Insight with a .8, and Jodeci with a .9. On the other side, you had a .95 from Merc. He went negative initial with the rest of his team stepping up. You got a 1.31 from Hook and a 1.26 from Shotzi today. The submachine guns from Optic having a master class. You got a 1.0 from Dashy. Good plays coming in all around. We'll scroll down here. Take a look at the F-Max MVP. Does not surprise me to see Hook and Nuke up here. This guy was unbelievable today. A 1.52 in hardpoint, a 1.17 in surge, and a 1.12 in control.
Last operator standing. You have been spotted.
Nice.
Roll. Sam, we'll start with you. We'll work our way at the bottom. We'll work our way up. What are your thoughts, Sam? What did you think about the series today? I was pretty
Do I
shocked
gas
that
him or
Toronto.
do I not gas him?
I don't know, Sam. Be very careful what you say, because if you start gassing Optic, you know, I mean, they're saying don't do it, Sam. They're saying don't do it.
These guys are shit. These guys are awful. Kyler had a fuck you series today. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, he did.
Mercules Bowl. Unfortunately, Mercules is victorious in the Mercules Bowl. Yeah, man. I mean, Optic looked good. They had a good win to end the stage. Very weird stage for them. They beat Vancouver and Ultra, lost to Boston and LAG, as everyone predicted that would happen. So, I mean, good win to end going into the major. Kyler again. I mean, this guy, I think he's solidified. I think he has the 4th overall KD on the season for the entirety of Black Ops 6 so far. Which
Does
is,
he? Does he actually?
I believe,
realize that.
unless that's a one guy stat, I believe I saw that before the show. Which is
Wow.
pretty impressive.
That is
so,
impressive.
shout out to Kyler. And on the flip side, Toronto, man, I'm a little disappointed. I was extremely high on these guys going into Major 4. I had them as a potential grand finalist, like I mentioned yesterday, and they have looked awful for the last 2 games. So I'm starting to doubt that one a little bit. I don't really know, because I think they started the stage super hot. I thought Toby was heating up. I thought they were starting to click, and then as the stage progressed, they've just played really sloppy. So I don't really know what to think about Toronto right now. I'm gonna wait until the event, but I'm not as high on them as others for sure.
Yeah, I think I know.
Go ahead, Ben. Why don't you take the floor next? What do you think the issue is, Benjay?
I think it's the ARs. I think your ARs are great search players and brothers have Bruno is there. He had a couple big rounds, including a nice defusing one by Mercules in the round he probably could have won. But I just think the other 2 ARs are too inconsistent as far as response goes. That's why you've seen this struggle to win big series. I think Kleenex and Jordan are great teams, but I don't think these ARs can make a compelling case to keep the roster spot long term.
Loading new mag.
Where's he at?
Friendly's victorious. Hostiles eliminated.
What they say? Pack-a-punch option.
It's almost like they had a pack-a-punch option that I was screaming from the mountaintops that they should have made and dropped the friendship bullshit and kept a 20-year-old who was good as fuck.
Yeah, I mean that was my
Oh,
next
man.
question.
And then that 20-year-old beats him.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, Jamie had 2,000 less damage than like the average in the
Bro,
lobby.
it was
and
honestly the clearest, simplest roster move to make. Like
But those are the
anyone,
ones that don't happen, Pat. You know.
bro, anyone
ones
with
that don't
any IQ points knows to make that change. I'm mind blown they didn't pull the trigger. And
Mhm.
real
I
quick,
was-
Tom,
go
I
ahead.
want to add before you go, Chris. People always say like I don't keep it, like fair when I'm talking about Optic. I wanna, be honest. I'm gonna be no bias here.
Uh-huh.
This was a despicable loss out of Ultra, Tom. Optics horrible.
Gotta keep that same
Toronto
energy.
should not be losing this. So I do want to make sure I'm keeping 100. Despicable loss out of the Ultra, and absolutely they should have picked up Merc. It was. I'm still to this day. I think they're gonna regret that for a very long time.
But Pat, hey, you don't think Optic play good enough? Like you think Toronto gets in this series?
After what I've seen out of Toronto the last couple days, bro, Toronto's looked horrible. Towards Sam's point, like they just looked horrible.
But I'm not,
They've
I'm not
only-
talking about Toronto. I'm saying as far as Optics play in this series.
Toronto just played bad and then they had a shit
Toronto
weekend.
could have played or Optic could have played like Falcons, which they normally do. It's just that Toronto looked horrible today, and that's my point I'm trying to stress.
Ben, anything to say to that?
I think my face is all.
The Falcons, I don't know. That's a stretch, I think, Pat. I think the Falcons, I don't know.
You're right. Given the day, Falcons might be a bit better, but listen, on average, I just think, like I said, Toronto has looked horrible.
We'll say this about Optic, and this is going
Down
to
to
be the
5
key
seconds.
game mode to see if they can keep this trend going into the event. They have not lost the control.
Op 4 has yet to locate a bomb.
I know they
Who control?
Op 4 found a bomb. You must defend it. One friendly remaining. Mission failed. All friendlies have been neutralized.
Full rounds.
And they haven't really
That's actually
lost control
crazy.
on
They've
either.
only lost 2 control rounds with every series with Merc. That's actually
Yeah.
terrible. That's actually terrible.
gross.
For sure.
Which is great. I just think, and if they can keep that going, fantastic. I think with Optic, it's their ceiling and floor are like pretty far apart. It seems like they can beat these good teams, but they come in and they play B minus COD, unlike a Thieves or a FaZe, where they'll figure it out in 5 or 4 maps. I don't have confidence in this Optic team to do it, so I just have like literally no idea how these guys are gonna play Major 4.
The control thing isn't that surprising, bro. Control's like the one mode where you need to play your life the most, and they picked up probably one kid who's probably one of the best at doing it right now in the league.
The number one in control KD for the stage.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't know. I still feel like Optic, bro. They picked up Merc, and I thought he was the missing piece. To be honest with you, like just in terms of like playstyles and what they needed as is like a team comp, like as a whole, I felt like they made a good change with Merc. I feel like now, I mean, let's be honest, bro. They took down a couple good teams, right? Vancouver, Toronto, boom. And then that LAG series is a wash, bro. There's no way that they let that happen again. I mean, at least from what I saw, I mean, that should have been another series they had in the bag, right? But I think they definitely look better than what they have in the past this year, At least I think they look better with Merc. I think they look way more elevated than they were at all. This is probably the best iteration of the roster so far that we've seen throughout the year. And on top of that, it hasn't been long. These guys are only going to get better, right? The more reps they get, especially in search, the better they're going to get, right? So I'm sure they've been practicing and working on their game. I just like the overall composition of the team now. I think it looks a lot better when you watch them play. It feels a lot more free flow. But what do you think, Duarte? Let's get your opinions on this. Do you
I think this series just kind of exposed a little bit more of Toronto's weaknesses. They did have a bad weekend where they lost to both Surge and Optic, and they just didn't play up to their standards. But at the same time, like in this series, it's pretty you know, black and white that like Jamie is just an inconsistent player. Like he is good, and he definitely has that go button sometimes, but most of the time it's not there, and he just struggles. When they have
location and defuse it.
Merc at the major, and granted they didn't have Beans there, they didn't like lose a hard point until I think their final match or something like that in the tournament. It was actually insane, and like now their hard point, you know, it's still like pretty damn good, but like dude, Jamie is just like such a just X factor for them. Like if he's having those bad series or bad KD series with the pace that.
Taped all and he's just taking it, like, but I don't want to delete it until I ask, right? So
I'm Christian.
I'll ask.
Former U.S. President Joe Biden.
Former President
he plays that. You can't afford to have a player playing like dropping those low numbers, because hypothetically, let's say somebody has a bad KD but they're a fast player, they have more impact on the game than somebody has a low KD and is a slow player in general. So that's just holding them back, and you see it in that first map. And then on top of that, their S&D is not nearly in the level that it used to be at the, you know, the first stage or two, where they were like looking as like one of the best S&D teams. That's taken a step back. So now they just like don't really have any of their options. This is their team, they're locked, and they just have to hope they show up on a given weekend. And I feel like they just had more potential with Merc. On the side of Optic, their win condition, or at least their condition to make a run at this next tournament, is going to be on Hook keeping his play from online to LAN, because I feel like he's always been that player that kind of is very up and down in those atmospheres in the later stages of his career. And then mainly just getting Shotzzy activated. For some reason, Ant this year has just been so like high and low. Like he's had really insane series, and then he's had some utter fucking blender series where he's just not doing well and just making bonehead plays. And I feel like for the most part, Brandon has been relatively consistent, but even he also has some like maps where he kind of struggles, even though he puts up high damage. So they just got to figure it out and hope that Kyler and Shotzzy, you know, can bring that sort of pace, because when they do, they have the potential to beat teams like Surge, teams like Toronto. I think in the Surge series that they played, I think Hook went crazy in that one as well. So yeah, they just need him to show up, Shotzzy to show up.
Yeah. So stats Jay and Nassim here real quick. I need a fact check Chris Parasite, if you don't mind, Tom.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kyler has been. First off, you have a little bit of buzzing in your mic, Chris. I don't know if your in-ears are getting too close to the mic.
I don't know.
I didn't even hear
it. It could be.
I didn't hear anything either.
Kyler's been their most consistent player KD-wise on LAN.
I'm not saying that he's playing better than his teammates. I'm saying the matches he's put up online and compared to LAN are not the same. I'm not saying he's the worst on the team or he's the worst than his teammates, but he has series online where he's dropping like 1.2s.
I mean, he needs Tom, to go to Kyler's stats. I don't normally I would agree with you. I think this season, I don't know if I agree with you. And I know they haven't played that many LAN series because all the 8s they've gotten.
Yeah.
Scroll down and go look at his event stats. the delta that used to exist there really doesn't like he's been fairly consistent. Yeah, he's had a couple of splits here. He had bad S&D, a major one, whatever. But you see, like, I don't think Kyler's numbers have been that consistent.
Yeah, his numbers look good. His numbers look good.
Yeah, they're not bad. But I'm just saying, like, if he can get activated and have those like series where he's popping off and he's like really looking like a threat, like a Hydra.
Proceed to bomb location.
Kyrie-son.
Drone activated.
Yo, how many fucking bullets, man?
Down to one friendly.
Level player, Shotzi level player, like this team can make that run. It's a insane like you know, metric to hold him to. But if he's doing it online in multiple series, there's no reason he can't do it at LAN. This is my point. I'm not saying he's like the worst person on his team on LAN. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying if he's putting up those numbers online, he's got to do it on LAN.
I think it's a numbers thing, and I also think with them, it's just about finishing maps and finishing situationals. We've seen in Search all season that these guys just don't play situationals correct. It seemed like today they started to get a better handle of those on Hasi S&D. I wonder if Hasi S&D though become a map that they don't end up playing too much, because I think people may not want to play them on that. But Respawn today they were clinical, but in past days as we've seen the split, they haven't been so much. I wanted to go to the Toronto thing just to close out, Pat or Chris. I would say yes, Jamie's a little bit consistent when it comes to Respawn. And I think the speed at which he plays sometimes and damage is definitely an issue, but I think it's not helped by the fact that his other AR partner is also just as inconsistent when it comes to Respawn. And I think the calculus for Toronto is, yeah, you have Kleenex and Joe who are capable of pop-off maps. When you have two other ARs, they're basically averaging like a .95 in hardpoint. I think
Yo, dog, should I watch Andor?
And that's why they're good, but not good enough.
Yeah, the consistency with the ARs is definitely an issue.
They see one of those guys. They need one of those ARs
Nice, dude.
to come to this event and just fry like they have.
Need to locate a bomb.
I like Toronto's chances to beat some of these teams and maybe make a final. If this is what it's going to be, for Ben and Jamie, or just a dice roll and Respawn every series, like, Start might be the best they get all season.
Jamie did play good at the last major with Merc on the team, though. I will say, yeah, the couple of good series.
Jamie does get better on LAN. I feel like he's a better LAN player than he is an online player. But I agree. I've been talking about Jamie all year. I feel like left stick Jamie is phenomenal, and then when he just loses his left stick, I lose composure. Like that's when I start like tweaking. Right, so like he needs to get into that like consistent form. Both of the ARs do. And this was a crazy play. This was a game-changing round right here. Toronto could have won 5-3 in this S&D. Instead, this gets tied up at 4.
5 seconds to go. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Get clear!
diffuser is no longer in your possession. The diffuser has been secured.
Reload.
Oh my god, that fucking timing, dude.
Oh.
Diffuser is active, protected at all costs. One friendly operator remaining. The diffuser has been disabled. Mission is a failure.
Because Merc hits the ninja defuse on the Benjamin Beans. I don't know if there's something Beans could have done better. I mean, Beans just got to check the bomb there. I mean, he can't just let Merc do that. He kind of played a little scared there, but I mean, great heads up play from Merc there, no? And it's funny too, because Merc was Beans' replacement. Now you see them 1v1ing here a few weeks later. It's a big round, but rough round there for Beans, huh? Rough round.
I mean, Beans probably thought it's like, oh, this kid's a rookie. He's not gonna hop the bomb. Like he's gonna play the kill, and he just.
All right, I'll be back.
There's a garbage bag.
Oh.
What? A what? An ice cap with chocolate milk? No. Oh, oh. Was that with chocolate milk, or I thought it was something else? Yeah, I don't remember fully. Doug, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was typical. Especially just, I think when Merc saw where the bomb was
tippable.
planted, I think he knew it was a good play to hop bomb. But Beans slides the corner, doesn't realize it's planted for the backside, doesn't get the kill quick enough. Good round, and after that, I mean, Optic going to win the next two. I mean, it was just good plays coming in from
Gotta
Merc.
play a
but,
setup.
I think what Pat said with the whole Merc and Toronto thing, do you
Gotta
guys agree
break
with
some
Pat, that
records,
maybe
though.
Toronto fucked up there? What do you think? They should have kept Merc? Should have held on to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
I feel like we all were saying that.
I think all the words out of Optic Camp is they really like what they've been seeing from Merc. I think when you look at his arrow, there's definitely like maturity the way he plays. I think, yeah, not having a player, an asset like that on your team is definitely a miss for him.
Yeah, this guy's been making some noise, man. As a rookie coming in late in the year, I think this guy's he's gonna have a long future, bro. He's gonna have a really good future, long future. I'm excited to see what this guy can do on land. That's gonna be really exciting. But any other thoughts, guys, before we move on? Because I know we gotta get to that bracket. We got another series here. Any other thoughts here? Any thoughts?
Well, we're gonna see this rematch in a couple of days, so.
They got first round, huh? They play each other first round.
Yeah, because the way the bracket got drawn after the last match.
Absolutely. All right. Any other final thoughts, guys? Any final thoughts there on that series?
Nope.
All right, then we head over to the last series of the day. We got the Minnesota Rocker going up against the Vancouver Surge. We got Vancouver coming in and getting a 3-1 victory here over the Minnesota Rocker. We got a 250 to 173 in the Volt Hardpoint. A 6-0 win in the Rewind Destiny. Kenny actually didn't die that map. First map this year where somebody didn't die during the map, which was kind of cool. So Kenny, he went 11-0 in that one. Good plays from him, but it didn't seem to matter because then they lost control 3-2 in the red card hard point 250 to 221. We'll scroll down, take a look here at the stats. We got Estrio with a .66 today. He really
I have a
today,
fucking
even in the damage department. You got Gio with a 1.01.
Did you
Kenny
fix
with a
the
1.06.
what is it?
And you got
The steering
Nero with a
or
.82. So both some machine gun
What was
players
wrong with the
struggling to get
steering?
kills here. On the other side,
whatever the
actually, yeah, Nero was putting down
the things for the modded cars.
Look how many interactions Nero has. 92 kills and 112
I'm gonna have to
deaths. That's
read
insane.
what the guy said again.
And then a 1.22 from
Nice.
Four, a 1.06 from
it's
Neptune.
not,
They both had over 100 kills
made
in
for
this
brain dead
series.
people,
Got a
so
1.10 from
actually
Abuz and a
have to look it over.
1.13 from Nasty. Good plays all around. Coming in hot. Match MVP probably gonna be 0-4. Let's see who we got. It's 0-4 with a 1.33 in Hardpoint, a 0.33 in Surge, and a 1.2 in Control. The Rainbow. He came into the call. He had a lot to say. He had a lot to say.
If they say 10 years, it's going to take 30 years, maybe 40. It took them 10 years to build a ramp, folks. Here in Austin, it took 10 years to build a ramp. So now, you travel 35, it's just construction equipment laying around, lanes blocked, only one lane of traffic moving, you're sitting in traffic for hours. And it'll take 10 years, they say. It'll probably take 50. Why? Are we just that inefficient? Are we just that ineffective? Or do we have politicians that steal our money and don't really give a damn about whether the work gets done? Why are they able to do it? In communist China, I'm no fan of communists, but do communists work harder than us? How is it China can build this infrastructure like that? China will build, again, I keep going back to this, but China will build the biggest bridge in the world before Nazi? Cool. Would a sign at the pump telling you about climate change and health impacts stop you from buying the next tank of gas? Would it? Does the warning label on a pack of cigarettes stop you from buying cigarettes? Hey, you know, they just announced this here in Texas. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton launches Kellogg's investigation for falsely claiming to remove unhealthy artificial dyes from cereals. Well, imagine if we just started putting warning labels on everything. What about all the carcinogens in our food? What about things that come in plastic containers with the microplastics that get into it? We just put warnings on everything. Let's just let everybody know how dangerous everything is at that rate. Or you need to be an informed consumer. The best way to go about it. What do you think Doge would have to say? If there was a Doge California, what would they have to say about Gavin Newsom's high-speed rail that he's been talking about for 20 years, hasn't laid a single track? Governor DeSantis, new Doge task force gains momentum as universities and localities commit to being audited. I would love to see that at a state level. But California probably needs it the most. Imagine if you live in California, let's say you lived in California since 2008, when Newsom started talking about this high-speed rail. Let's say you have been paying your taxes, billions of dollars have gone to this high-speed rail, not a single track has been laid. Now imagine, though, if we actually built it. Imagine that. If the billions they spent on a high-speed rail actually built a high-speed rail. Wouldn't that be something? Where did the billions go? I don't know. Maybe ask Newsom. He's all over it. Been talking about it since 2008. But imagine, your tax dollars actually went towards where they're supposed to go. It's a revolutionary concept here. A foreign concept. But there's hope. Maybe there is hope after all. Meanwhile, in Europe, let's look at some of this geopolitical news. They're jailing people for social media posts. They're jailing mothers for memes. I heard the full story about the woman jailed for 2 years for a tweet. Her injustice shames Britain. Mother jailed for social media post and is now blocked from seeing her daughter. Prison bosses have been criticized for denying a mother jailed over last summer's riots the right to spend temporary leave at home with her daughter and sick husband, Lucy Connolly, who was in prison for 31 months for inciting racial hatred in a tweet, has been forced to wait 4 months in her attempt to secure release on temporary license, despite being described by one prison expert as an ideal candidate for such home leave. Well, she shouldn't even be in prison. She shouldn't even be in prison. We gotta be careful that we don't go down that path. And we're already seeing some signs with these anti-Semitism laws and hate speech laws, and people getting arrested for their speech on college campuses. We want to be very careful not to become like Europe. That's a slippery slope we want nothing to do with, and yet here we are, I'd say flirting with it. Brussels police arrest Marco Rubio's security detail supervisor after hotel fight. Fighting over here. The diplomatic security service shift supervisor assigned to Secretary of State Marco Rubio's protected detail was arrested by Belgian police at a Brussels hotel last Monday after arguing with hotel staff and fighting with responding police officers. How do we feel about that after the NATO's foreign ministers summit? I think it's just time to shut it all down. Shut it all down. And then they can fight with themselves and they can figure out how to defense. Instead of relying on us, the whole world relying on us for their piggy bank, we could be, oh man, so rich. Can't even imagine, folks. Trillions the United States of America has poured out overseas with nothing to show for it. Trillions. I'm going to change that. Hopefully Trump can change that, at least if he gets a 50% back. France protests latest. Marine Le Pen says existence of France is at stake as she cites Martin Luther King in speech. Le Pen supporters rally in Paris, turning a protest into a populist show of force. So this is the same thing they did to Trump. It's the same thing they did to Bolsonaro. And what do you see? You could say these are all right-wing leaders, populist leaders. And then what do you see? You see millions of people protesting peacefully in the streets. And there's nothing like that for any of these leftists where they steal these elections. Where were rallies in support of Lula in Brazil? You couldn't find them. Where are rallies in support of Macron in France? You can't find them. Where were rallies in support of Joe Biden or Kamala Harris? Non-existent. And the ones that did exist were all paid for protests, and you get the geolocation data, and then you cross-reference with the other rallies. It's the same 1,000 people going to every rally. They're literally paid rally attendants. And it looks even worse now. Seemingly, I mean, 50%, maybe 70% of the individuals showing up at these Trump-Musk protests are senior citizens. So where are they doing this recruiting now? Are they sending people into senior homes? Is it those are the only people that can get to show up? Are they paying them? Maybe all of the above? None of it's organic. But how about this? As we're about to reach the halfway point, open the phone lines. I don't even know if I can show this. This is debatable of whether I can even show this or not. But there's this old lady. She's got to be at least 60, I'm thinking, around 60. I don't know if we're allowed to show this. Can you imagine? This is how deranged they are. Oh, good job. There you go. Yeah. We got a little censored version there. Just dealing with all the nonsense. Legal defense, legal offense, and then finally, now I'm in touch with the FBI. There's some movements on the swatting stuff. They're finally able to reach out to some of the individuals. I've got a meeting scheduled, and I'll just say, this is what I was told. I don't know, all the process behind the scenes, but basically, I was told the day after my swatting, a case was filed in the FBI, and it had been sitting at the DOJ this entire time with no movement. None. Until today. And so now, again, this is what I was told, so now the FBI can actually do an investigation. So it's taken this long, but now it's finally moved through the DOJ, and they can actually do an investigation. It's like I've been dealing with this every morning, and it's just getting obnoxious. But hey, okay, at least they're responding, and now I'm told the investigation is beginning, not just in my case, but other cases as well. And it had been sitting on the DOJ's desk this entire time, waiting for things to process. Now, what's funny, what I was told, the excuse was, because I'm a member of the media, they have to go through different protocols in doing investigations, which is true. Obama signed that bill. But you know what's funny? They completely violated that law. It even came out of the court, a magistrate judge in Washington, D.C., Judge Faruqi. When they indicted me, they broke the law because they did not go through the process and the protocols of dealing with a media member. So when they want to arrest me and indict me, they break the law. But when I need to have an investigation in my own defense, in my family's defense, then all of a sudden we got to go through all the hoops and everything. Now the whole thing is ridiculous, these media protocols. I understand why they have them. But it's like the same thing. I don't get special First Amendment rights just because I'm a member of the media. Everybody has the same exact First Amendment rights. Doesn't matter whether you have 1 million followers or 1 follower. everybody should have the same rights. But it's just funny to me when I was told that. So when they want to indict me and arrest me, they ignore the law. But when I need help, then all of a sudden, oh, we've got to jump through all these hoops before we can help you. That's really convenient. That is really convenient. So just a quick update there. All right, phone lines are already filling up. When you hear somebody hang up, that means a line is open. We'll take calls, cover news the rest of the way. And if there's any other breaking news out of the White House, usually there's something, right? Usually there's something in the evening for you. Some breaking news. We'll have that for you as well. Halfway through the show, we'll be right back. All right, this is crazy. Friend of the show, Alex Stranger, self-admitted NIH grant supervisor who participated at yesterday's anti-Elon protest, fully supports using your tax dollars to fund studies to give steroids to hamsters. Well, here's one for you. Here's a deep cut. Does anybody listening, do you know who the muscle hamster is? That's a deep cut. If you know who the muscle hamster is, yeah. Well, that's not a government program. Steroids. So we got that coming up. We also got your phone calls. Folks, oh my gosh. Alex, you are ridiculous. All right. You know, a lot of people struggle with weight loss, and there's a lot of reasons for that. It's hard to commit. Bad habits. You can't find the right product to help you in that journey. Well, we are now helping you, and we now have the right product. It just came out today at thealexjonesstore.com. Ultimate Burn. And, you know, you've seen Alex's weight loss journey. I believe over 60 pounds is what he's lost. So, yep, it requires dedication, commitment, diet, exercise, but sometimes the big difference can be the right supplement. And that's what Ultimate Burn is for. The 90-day benefits from Ultimate Burn. Thermogenic support ignites your body's natural ability to burn fat and generate heat. Blood sugar support helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels already within the normal range. Energy and focus delivers steady, jitter-free energy to help you stay sharp and alert. Nutrient absorption supports optimal absorption of key ingredients for maximum impact. Metabolic wellness, really not stopping, Andy. I thank you for the call. They're obviously not stopping anytime soon. They're actually getting bigger. But who's ever leading the charge on how to market and recruit these people, I mean, folks, it's like all old folks now. The majority of I've never seen that. I've been covering these protests for 10 years. It's usually the average age is probably around 30. I mean, or it's just whatever the average age is. Now the average age is like 60. So I don't know what that's about. But that is you can observe that pretty easily. Speaking of wild, so this is Alex Stranger, friend of the show. He goes to these protests and just trolls. He's like one of us. He supports Trump, but he likes to go and pretend he's a radical leftist, and then he freaks them out because he's more radical than them. So I haven't even seen this, but apparently he got an NIH grant supervisor who might have been involved directly with this research at UT here, because they do a lot of government research here. She wants to give steroids to hamsters. Well, I can only imagine the benefits of that. But let's hear it from her own words here, guys. Go, do we have it ready? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm so sorry to hear that. What Elon Musk is doing is disgusting, you know? Like, I had a 6-figure salary.
This blue lesbian lost her job.
Because of Elon Musk.
Where are you?
No, so I actually led the study. I led a really important study where we were giving steroids to hamsters to see if they would, like, make them more aggressive to kind of help get rid of the epidemic of toxic masculinity. Like, in our country, in newsflash, the steroids made the hamsters a lot more aggressive. Yeah. And now, like, Elon Musk is still telling that that's not acceptable. It's a bad use of taxpayer funds. No, that's straight up fascism and it's straight up white supremacy. And our government is literally infested with this plague.
So, you know, Yvonne Jungle at UCI does aggression and hamsters.
She wants the hamsters to do the steroids.
At UT Austin, and they did vow that they kind of experiment with like providing steroids to hamsters to make them work.
Not aggression studies, so no.
I'm going to message you because my struggle is this should not be happening.
I know.
It's a war on the working man, what's happening. You know, to go from 6 figures to homeless, working people, to go from 6 figures a year to being homeless within a month and a half.
It really is incredible, isn't it? I don't think you could pull this off to a conservative, and I think they've even tried when they've sent out crews with like Jordan Kepler and others, and they try to send these people out as like radical right-wingers to go get them to bait Trump supporters into supporting things or believing things that don't exist. It's never worked. They've tried it before. You know, a conservative, a Trump supporter, they can usually sniff that stuff out, or at least they're grounded in some sense of reality or principle that it doesn't work. I don't know what you have to understand if you're listening to this. Alex goes out in ridiculous outfits. He's out here in a ripped up, torn up Seinfeld t-shirt. Looks like it's covered in car grease. And he's got the face mask on. And he's like, I study hamster aggression with steroids. I'm like, wow, that's really important stuff. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Yeah, we need to keep that going. What is it? Do they have any lines at all? Are there any lines between their ideology and reality to stop them from going completely off of a ledge? And I think the answer is no. No. They're already off the ledge. It's gone. You can walk up to these people and say, I inject hamsters with steroids. They say, yeah, that's great. You should keep it up. He goes around, he's like, my wife's boyfriend, I can't afford to take him out on a date because of the Trump administration. Like, wow, that's horrible. You should be able to pay for your wife's boyfriend date. Another caller on this. Let's go to John in Florida. John, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Owen, how's it going?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, I was at one of these protests myself. They actually had it in my hometown here in Central Florida. And I just want to know, like, your thoughts on the hypocrisy. One of the signs I saw was, hands off my body. And I'm like, well, why did they force us with COVID jabs? Couldn't say anything to that. The other one was, hands off my women's rights. And yet I'm like, well, what about biological men and women's sports? And they're calling me a Nazi. So I just want to know your thoughts. Is it more, you think it's more of an ideology, more of MK Ultra brainwashing, or do you think these people just have no idea because it may not be affecting them in the areas that they live in?
Okay, well, I think it's probably all three, but the ideology is really the only principle that they have is they're against you. So that's really their ideology. It's not even open borders. It's whatever is against you. So if you're for men and women's sports, then they'd be against it. If you were for open borders, they'd be for closed borders. So it's like, I don't know, you could probably play that game of reverse psychology on them. But then that brings up the brainwashing. Yes, they are totally under brainwashing. That's why they're out at these protests. They're brainwashed to go do it. And so that's what you get. The ideology is we just oppose you, no matter what. Common sense, logic, reality, doesn't matter. And then, yes, they are under a total brainwashing spell, convinced that they're the good guys or they're fighting crime or Nazi or something else, and that's why they go do it. So, yeah, you're experiencing both of these things. Absolutely. And I give them credit. They have the formula down, and they continue to have these protests. So trying to argue facts and logic with these leftists is a fool's errand other than for the entertainment purposes at this point. And that's well documented. Thank you for the call, John. You got Joe in Texas. Joe, were you at the protests as well?
No, I was
not at the protest, but I can tell you that I got a letter in the mail. My mom is a member of the AARP, which is kind of backwards because she's like ultra-conservative, beyond Christian. So I keep trying to tell her to get into the other one that's actually on our side, and if I remember the name of it, I would tell you. But the one that we got a letter in the mail from AARP promoting the protests and signing and promoting a couple of petitions to send to Elon and Trump.
Okay. Hold on. I want you to. I'm understanding what you're saying now. I didn't get it at first. You're saying they're marketing this. They're directly marketing this to senior citizens.
Yes.
Okay. Explain that again. I didn't really see where you were going with it at first. Now I see. Okay. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just. Okay. I get it now. All right. Go ahead.
Okay.
What
we got
the
a letter
fuck
in the mail
was that?
From AARP, directly promoting these protests.
Yo.
Directly promoting
That was
petitions
fucking insane.
to the government to to get Elon out and to call and all of the language that we hear from the left. So the AARP is directly recruiting seniors to these protests by direct mail. It's insane.
What was in the letter? Was it like a Democrat like pamphlet, or was it like an official
on X? We're gonna go. Get your limited edition Gulf of America shirt at thealexjonesstore.com and the limited.
Damn expensive to make anything here because of the regulations and the
Interview with Benz, he explains they. Anybody who's halfway informed about health and vitality knows that turmeric is one of the top super nutrients in the world. But the silent majority.
To actually take questions, we will cover that live as well. Let's go back to President Trump talking energy policy. We're here. With greater respect. To be celebrated. Phase 2 of Trump's plan to see a massive economic boom. And it's starting to take shape. You're starting to see it. The people that are wise enough are getting excited about it. But imagine you getting 10 to 15% more of the money that you make and keeping it in your pocket. Hell, if they cut the income tax, now you're talking like 15, 20% of the money you make, keeping it in your pocket instead. So there's this video where this guy moves to Thailand, and look, I don't want to move. I don't want to go to a different country. I want to live in America. But this guy moves to Thailand, and he's like, my God. He's like, I can't believe how rich I am here. Well, a lot of that has to do with the power of the American dollar. But we could also have a situation where things are a lot cheaper than they are. And so here's this guy. This thing's gone viral. But understand, you can live like this in America, folks. This idea that, America can't live like this. Americans can't be rich. It's bullcrap. Your wealth has been stolen. Your prosperity has been shackled. Trump is removing the shackles. So here's this man in Thailand stunned at what it's like financially to live in Thailand in clip 14.
Bro, why would I move back to America? My rent's $700 a month, my water bill is $3 a month, and my electricity bill is $23 a month. I literally eat for $2. I literally use transportation. I don't have a car. Use transportation for $3. Literally to go 30 minutes away somewhere, bro. Why would I move back to America? I don't have a car note. I don't have a high electricity bill. I don't have a high cell phone bill. My cell phone bill in Thailand is literally $10 a month. Bro, I'm financially free. I'm stress free. I
we're going to be free here soon, too.
And what's so funny, gang? I'm just like you.
Free my people. No, we can have it like that here. By the way, it looks like he's living in some penthouse in a skyscraper in Thailand. So I'm sure for that market, it's probably not a cheap rental. Financial freedom. Would you like that? Would you like some financial freedom, America? Would you like to be able to work one job and afford your lifestyle? Hell, if you want to work 2 jobs, keep the money you earn. Would you like that? Would you like things to be more affordable? Because that's where this is going. That's where these policies are taking us. And that's going to be the ultimate realization. That's going to be the veil finally removed. We never had to live like this, folks. And the work Doge is doing is like a whole other realm of helping us figure this out. Cut the waste, fraud, and abuse. Stop all the foreign aid. Cut the taxes. Cut the regulations. Unleash the American energy. All of this drowning of Americans financially can all be reversed with good policy. And it is all going to be reversed. And it'll be like sprinting uphill with a 50-pound rucksack to sprinting downhill without any weight. That's where it's going. Very, very excited about where this goes. You should be too. So here's some of the headlines, though. They're still trying to panic you. Or, you know, let me just say this before we go there. In Saudi Arabia, because these are the countries building the incredible infrastructure, this is actually insane. Saudi's insane plan for world's tallest skyscraper, the Rise Tower, $5 billion project. Get this. Now, the Burj Khalifa was the tallest skyscraper in the world. I believe they built one in the UAE that eclipsed it. But the Burj Khalifa either is or was the tallest skyscraper in the world. The Rise Tower is going to be double as tall. It'll be over a mile tall. And then you talk about the project that they're doing. They're calling it the North Pole Project. They're calling it the Saudi Boom. I want an American boom. I want new American infrastructure. I want metropolitan areas in America that are clean and nice and safe and prosperous and healthy. That's my American dream. That's the future of America I want to live in. And we can turn it all around with the right policy. It's going to take some time. But, you know, I saw this guy. I don't know if he's a leftist or what he is. Kyle Kulinski, I believe is his name. And I don't know if he made it but he shared it. There's AI video of Americans working in factories, and they make it look bad. But it's like, oh, this is what you want? You want Americans working in factories? What is it about the left that think there's no dignity in working a job? What is that with them? You know, they always say, what are you going to do without your illegal immigrant plumber? What are you going to do without your illegal immigrant farmer? What are you going to do? Jasmine Crockett just came out the other day and said, what are you going to do without us picking your cotton? And there's machines for that now, but okay. So yeah, there's the video right there. Put it up on the screen. What is this? What is this idea that somehow putting in an honest day's work for an honest day's pay is somehow degrading? You're telling me that a young guy wouldn't take $25 an hour as a starting wage with benefits to go work at a factory?
He was very adamant that he was not there. He denied it.
Probably have a scale of a raise? Probably get up to $35, $40 an hour in a couple years. Are you going to be rich? Well, no, but you're going to have a steady job with benefits. What is this idea from the left? Somehow it's degrading to have an honest day's job with an honest day's work. What is it with liberals in that? You don't think Americans would take a good paying job and work in a factory 8-10 hours a day? I got news for you. They already do. Actually, you just don't even know that. There still are big manufacturing hubs in America. When I was a kid, I made bags. Small little job, small factory thing. It was like people work in factories and they make stuff. Yeah. Make a decent living. Pay your bills. Don't need a college degree. Hell, might not even need a high school degree. You start putting these things and build up Main Street again, you start putting these things in these downtrodden metropolitan areas. I mean, what would you rather have? And we're going to have a major culture change. Would you rather go downtown? You can go downtown Austin right now, and there's this massive homeless facility. The state of Texas had this brilliant idea. They were going to build this facility in Austin. They bust all the homeless from Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas to Austin. They assumed this homeless facility would solve all the problems. Well, you know, it didn't. None of the homeless want to live there because they can't do drugs there. So there needs to be this culture shift. What would you rather see? Would you rather see 500 homeless people downtown? Or would you rather build a factory and who knows, maybe they go work there and maybe they get some of their dignity back. Maybe they get a sense of pride and self-worth again. Oh, no, that's beneath us liberals. That's degrading work. You're sick, disgusting people with your holier-than-thou arm-chairing, like you're somehow above an honest day's work. No, I think Americans will take an honest day's work for an honest pay. I do think that. And then maybe you won't have these issues in the metropolitan areas with all the homelessness. Maybe you can offer them a sense of pride again. Maybe we can start building products that last again, like we used to. So I'm insulted. I'm insulted as an American that has worked making things before. I am insulted that you somehow think that that is the low in America. And what else are they saying? So you'd rather pay somebody in China or India a nickel an hour to make these things. So you'd rather have the equivalent of slave labor to make these things. And then, by the way, how many carbon emissions are happening in the process of shipping these things all around the world? Did you ever think about that, libtard? So you'd rather pay someone in China a nickel an hour than building these things in America and giving Americans a chance to have an honest job with an honest pay so that they're not homeless anymore and they can have a sense of self-worth and pride. And then you want to ship it all around the world to stop climate change. No, I find that extremely insulting, actually. And I would love to see Americans take pride in their work instead of living on the streets. All right, we are going to have to go into light speed as we were covering the Trump executive order ceremony here in the first half of the show. So let's kick it into high gear here. Let's pile drive through some of this news and video clips. It's so funny to look at all these headlines. Stock market relief rally fades. S&P 500 less than 1% high. Stock market update. So they all said it's crashing, it's over, doom and gloom, and then none of that happened. And now they're saying, okay, well, it wasn't so bad. Now some of the markets are up, but still it's bad because it's Trump. No, the market has not crashed. It would have to go down thousands of points. Thousands of points multiple days in a row for anybody to really consider it a crash. But see, that's what they just can't help themselves. Trump makes good policy for trade, and they just say, this is going to crush us. No, the actual truth is the policies that Trump is fixing. China criticizes Trump tariff. U.S. forges ahead with 104% tariffs on China. So this is the one that could get interesting. Trump's dispute with China is decades in the making. China mulling ban on Hollywood film releases in response to Trump tariffs. So this is going to be interesting. China does have a bunch of the resources that it mostly, I would say, that it takes to make pharmaceutical products. So maybe that's a problem. China has also got its claws into a lot of these American companies and really culture, like Hollywood, the NBA, and this is how it goes. Hollywood wants to put a movie in China. China says, okay, you need to remove this scene, that scene, edit this dialogue, whatever. It's like it was famous, I think it was Maverick, where they wanted something changed in Maverick, and they just said no. You can take the movie as is or not. So they can try to play this game, leveraging their consumer market and say we will ban the NBA. We'll ban Hollywood films. Okay, that's how you deal with that. That's how you deal with that. And I guess what Trump is betting on is that American companies are going to decide to be patriotic. Maybe that's the biggest risk he's taking here. Is that American companies are willing to take a hit to support the country. And maybe just for the first time in decades, decide, you know what? Go ahead, Chi-Coms. We're siding with America. Wouldn't that be refreshing? Here's a story I found from Jason at 1776_New Jersey. I work, a Marine, by the way. I work in the bicycle industry, and the impact tariffs are having on my business are profound. The same bikes that people were paying $4,000 for during the pandemic is on sale this month for $1,300. The same bike that people were paying $3,400 for during the pandemic is on sale this month for $1,900. Bikes built and manufactured in the United States. States are selling out. Bikes manufactured overseas are reducing their prices to stay competitive with U.S. manufacturers. Tariffs are definitely impacting my industry, and it's absolutely amazing for my business. Thank you, President Trump. Oh, you mean now American companies are going to be competitive in the marketplace? And foreign products are going to have to lower their prices to compete? Gee. Sounds so bad. American companies made in America might actually get a shot. And the American media complains. No, there's these, I don't know where Biden gets his bikes. Biden, is that a made in America bike? Probably not. Couldn't hold you up. Maybe we need some training wheels. Trump and Powell spar anew in major Fed test. Trump wants rates cut significantly. Powell is playing difficult on this. Then you have Musk and Navarro, and I think a lot of this is being overblown, to be honest. Elon Musk rips moron. Trump trade advisor Peter Navarro, dumber than a sack of bricks. Well, it's obvious why Musk might be against the tariffs. He wants free trade. But at the same time, Musk is the president? Musk is getting favors? Oh, I guess not, huh? Yeah, guess that was fake news, fake narrative too. But during the White House press conference today, Caroline Leavitt came out. She was asked about this, and she said, well, paraphrasing, but she said, well, this White House thinks that debate is a good thing, and we encourage members of the administration to engage in debate vigorously, and they believe it's a healthy discussion. And I believe what she said was, boys will be boys. Oh, boys will be boys, huh? So yeah, there's debate internally inside the Trump administration, and that's a good thing. So they tried to set it up, and they were always trying to do this divide and conquer technique. That's why they tried to separate you from Donald Trump for all these years. It didn't work. Now they're trying to separate Musk and Trump, or Trump's cabinet and Musk and all this stuff. It's not going to work. You see, real straight shooters, real honest people, real men are not scared of debate. They're not scared of disagreement. Really, actually, to be honest, we like it. We like when philosophy and intellectualism and political debate is a full contact sport. We like it. We're into it. So this whole concept that you're going to somehow turn us all off or turn us all against each other, wrong again. We actually like debate. We actually like politics as a full contact sport. This is why we call you snowflakes. Because you can't handle it. And that's why you try to turn it off and say, oh, racist, oh, homophobe, and all the other words you use. Because you can't handle the debate. You're soft. By the way, here's an interesting one. Country music artist John Rich. This is pretty wild. I'd never heard this story before, but you had to know it was going on in some way, shape, or form. John Rich tells the story of when President Trump asked him, why do they boo me when I bring up the vaccine? John Rich did not pull any punches, according to his story here in clip 3.
Trump gets through eating, and you've seen him do this move right here. Wherever in the big boardroom he does this. Okay, that's what he does. He goes, can I ask you a question, John Rich? He never calls me John. John Rich? I look at him, I go, yes, sir. What's the question? He goes, well, you do a lot of big shows. Like, you're an entertainer? Yes, sir. You play for really big crowds? I go, I do. I play for really big crowds for a long time. He goes, well, have you seen these rallies I'm doing? Like, it's 30, 40,000 people. I said, yeah, it's unbelievable. He goes, so here's the question. Why are people booing me at my rallies when I bring up the vaccine? This is the question from the President of the United States. A guy who is very proud at that moment of the fact that he was able to stomp the gas pedal and get that thing out because he's under the impression this is going to fix the problem.
Operation Warp Speed.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a guy who, to his own admission, one of the biggest egos on the earth.
Yeah.
And he's very proud of this. And I respect him to, there is no limit. But I'm being asked a very direct question. And so, man, I looked at him and I said, okay, I'm going to tell you the answer and you're not going to like it. He goes, okay, what's the answer? You're going to look at me like this? I said, let me start off by saying this. We, the American people, do not trust the people that you were forced to trust at the time when this was happening. Let's start there. And I said, by the people we don't trust, here's who I mean. The FDA, the CDC, the NIH, the WHO, Fauci, and all the rest of them. I said, Mr. President, we consider them to be a bunch of murderous, depopulationist psychopaths.
And his reaction was... That's a good way to start.
His eyes are... He goes, unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's stunned. No, he is stunned that I said that. I said, now, let me tell you why they're booing you. I said, because all of them, including me, I said, I would boo you. I would boo you.
Did you really? You
did not. I would boo you.
Really?
if you brought that up, and here's why. And he's looking at me, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the last time this guy's going to invite me to anything.
Yeah.
He's never going to call me again. I'm throwing massive shade on a former president's, in his mind, one of his biggest accomplishments. And it dawned on me, nobody had told the man what I was telling him right now, because they all work for him. They all got something to gain from him. They're not going to tell him this because they're not serving him well. I don't work for him, and I think a lot of him.
So you see, we're not afraid of debate. And, you know, another interesting point that he makes there is I think Trump probably does need more people in his ear and around him that aren't just kissing his butt all day long, but are willing to tell him some of the hard truths, maybe some of the things he can't see or hear or doesn't want to. And that's what another thing John Rich was talking about right there. It's like, hey, I don't work for him. I don't have to kiss his butt. And I'm going to tell the truth no matter what it costs me, because that's more important. Now, the other news developing today, well, actually, we'll get to this in a second. One more thing on the tariffs. Trump had a couple of other things to say while Netanyahu was in the Oval Office, like this in clip 2.
On where? On Israeli goods, 17%. Well, we're talking about a whole new trade. Maybe not. Maybe not. Don't forget, we help Israel a lot. You know, we give Israel $4 billion a year. That's a lot. Congratulations, by the way. That's pretty good. But we give Israel billions of dollars a year. Billions.
You know, I'd like a little more appreciation from a smug Netanyahu who has arrest warrants for war crimes all across the country, or excuse me, all across the planet, multiple countries. I'd like to see a little more appreciation from Netanyahu in that situation, but smugness is something Netanyahu's never short of. But Trump says it right to his face. It's like, hey, you know, we give you billions of dollars, so, and you were still tariffing us. So, Then he made this announcement, which was all over the news today with some other military news, and then he said this in clip 4.
Great things happening with our military. We also essentially approved a budget, which is at the facility, you'll like to hear this, of $1 trillion, $1 trillion. And nobody's seen anything like it. We have to build our military, and we're very cost conscious, but the military is something that we have to build, and we have to be strong because you have a lot of bad forces out there now. So we're going to be approving a budget, and I'm proud to say, actually, the biggest one we've ever done for the military.
Now, it's totally noteworthy that it's announced while Netanyahu is there. He even makes the reference to Netanyahu, like, oh, you'll really like this. And it's obviously because it's being postured against Iran. The situation with Iran is very complex. Strategically, there are reasons for America to posture itself against Iran. And it has to do with China, Russia, other geopolitical situations. So there are strategic reasons why it would be beneficial for the U.S. to posture itself against Iran. Then there's the obvious when they chant death to America in the streets with some of their radical leadership. The problem with that, the only reason why they hate America is because we fund Israel. The only reason why they hate America is because we are Israel's guard dog, bodyguard. So that's the only reason why they chant death to America. If it wasn't for our coupling with Israel, then none of that would probably exist. But nonetheless, Trump promises $1 trillion in defense spending for the next year. And he is very hawkish on Iran, and he doesn't want them to have nuclear weapons, whether that's for his own reasons or for the benefits of Israel. That is the case. So a $1 trillion defense budget for next year. Now, I will say, I'm already hearing and seeing some of the leftists, well, if we can do this, why can't we have free health care and all this other stuff? You know, it's a fair point. I'm not for government subsidized anything. I'm a free market capitalist. But you notice, they have a problem with the $1 trillion for the defense budget. But when DOGE is finding $1 trillion of waste, fraud, and abuse, they complain about that. They complain about that. So it's like, you hate DOGE, but with all the money that DOGE is saving us, you know, we could actually do some of this communist crap that you like, which I'm not for. We already live in a socialist country. I mean, really, you can even say we live in a communist country, but it's not even that good. We're just like a free charity. We're just like a piggy bank. Income tax is slavery. Property tax is theft. So we're just income tax slaves, property tax theft victims here, and then we're just a charity case for the world. But we already have all these socialist programs. So, okay, DOGE is going to save trillions of dollars. Oh, no, stop that. Well, this could be used for some of the stuff that you want. But you're so busy doing research on gay fish and shrimp treadmills and trans comic books and operas that you don't even know what's going on, and then you complain when we shut it down. $1 trillion in defense spending. Well, there's no doubt the military will be strong. Morale is back. Pentagon prepares for Trump to go berserk. In the largest single deployment of stealth bombers in U.S. history, the Pentagon has sent 6 B-2 Spirit aircraft to Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. They're also stationing military officials in Tel Aviv now. So they really are kind of starting to circle the waters on Iran here. And it's not good. Now, I don't want war with Iran. I hope Trump doesn't want war with Iran. I hope Israel doesn't get the war with Iran that they've been lusting over for decades now. Because that's what, I mean, I try to balance everything out. It's like, okay, Trump is going to get probably an A+ when it comes to the economy. That'll be his legacy, is the economy. Then there's the war with Iran or anybody else, and it's like, we don't want that. We don't want to get involved in another war. It's like, that would be a major stain. So it's like, if you have 3 things you're looking at, and I'd throw DOGE into the economy thing. You have the economy, you have war, and then you have arresting the deep state. So it's like, if you got to pick one that you get for sure, you got to pick one that kind of remains neutral, you get to pick one that doesn't happen, what would you like to see? Because I think that's probably, it's like the hottest team in baseball, just won the World Series, they get all the best players, and this Dodgers fan is
fights and double dealing and everything. Quite frankly, I didn't develop Optimal Human when Bigley came on as a big sponsor, and I told you in a 2-hour podcast interview that Tucker Carlson did with me yesterday in Boca Grande, Florida. But today, in the 4th hour, we're not going to get to it till then, you will see a presentation that I shot a week ago with the latest information. When I got back last night, put on the same shirt, same jacket, same background, and cut in a little bit more updates to it. And then Rob Deuce did it for All Night Finishing. So that's in, and thank you. I was up here late too, but the point is, that is going to be in the 4th hour. We're going to post it to X, very important. So, moving on from that, that's just a nice window or keyhole into these criminal operations they've been running against us, and big developments that I can't get into yet about. Indeed, it is being investigated, but the bad guys already know that because they've already had some phone calls and visits. So they're not too happy. And I didn't intend for this interview with Tucker to happen. He only invited me there like a week and a half ago, and then had these other planets align with the new stuff that developed. But it was perfect timing that I waited to put all this out because we got even more. So I'll give you an update on that before the 4th hour starts, and we're going to go to that report, that detailed dive. It's still just the surface, but right now it's like 46 minutes long. So it'll fit in the 4th hour. Now let's move on from that right now, okay? Because we're not, the center of the universe here, but it's a nice window, again, into the enemy operations and nice primer. And it's important that they be exposed and be stood up to, and that there be repercussions for that, which I'm told there are going to be. So let's talk about all the other big news. Trump came out, and I predicted he would do this. It wasn't hard. It's the art of the deal. And that countries that didn't reciprocate to our retaliation, to their decades of one-sided deals with traitors in our government, that if they began to negotiate and
I'll be back.